Welcome to Beyond the Box with Emma. Today we are joined by Dineo, a dynamic multitasker, a qualified paralegal, and a proud mom to a witty 14-year-old son with ADHD. With over a decade of experience across different sectors, including finance, Dineo brings adaptability, empathy, and leadership to everything she does, including motherhood, all with a warm smile, as you have seen, right? Now, we're going to dive into her story of parenting, of purpose, and powering through chaos with love and laughter. Dineo, welcome to Beyond the Box. It's such an honor to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much, Emma. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah. So maybe you could share with us your journey with neurodiversity. How did it start? When did it start? Because your child is a teenager, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a teen now. He's a 14-year-old boy. Very openly loud and tells us exactly where we should be and where we should stay in our places. But so my journey with him and finding out that he had ADHD started when he was in grade 2. So I took him to a nice school. We went to the school. Went to that school, and then so we figured that my child was very hyperactive. We just thought he's just busy, you know.
He's just a busy child.
A lot of energy. Yeah. Nothing. I didn't see anything wrong with him or anything. Not okay.
Just a boy being a boy.
Just a boy being a boy. You know, very loud, very busy. And then so when he got to grade 2, I had a contention with one of the teachers who would always say, "Call me to school. No, your child is naughty. Your child is disturbing the class. Is disruptive. He's never listening in class," and stuff like that. So I was like, "No, my son is intelligent." Then he started almost failing subjects, and I didn't get why. Why are you making him fail? And I was like, "What's going on?" Then there was a psychologist at the school who saw him and was like, "Actually, your child has ADHD." So he was diagnosed in grade 2 with ADHD.
Wow, that's interesting. So between you and between him studying grade 2 and having been called to school by teachers, etc., and him seeing a psychologist, how much was that time? Was it a short period of time? A year, 2 years?
I think it was like a couple of, maybe I'd say 6 months, because at the end of the year, they had actually made him fail the year. Then I was like, no, but he can't fail the year. This is a very smart, intelligent boy. And I know his capabilities, you know. Eventually, we took him out and put him in homeschooling. But then we saw him thrive, you know, because then he was more paid attention to. He had more classes that were very minimal. I think he had like 3 or 4 students in his class at the homeschooling school. So he was making progress. And I was very happy and proud of him for actually adapting to that kind of process at an early age. Obviously for him, it took a knock to his heart, like, what's going on? You know, he'd come back crying. The teachers are shouting at me, "Mommy," and just, "Oh, what did you do?" "Nothing, Mommy. I was finished." You know, because he would maybe finish his work early and get bored. I figured that's what would happen. So yeah, it was that kind of a journey.
Interesting. And so what's unique about your journey, which I don't, at least up until now, I haven't had a lot of parents whose journey has taken such a short while from observing the different indicators to actually getting a diagnosis. It sounds like really short. It was quite short, but what's beautiful is you managed to find out early, because that means your child can benefit compared to parents that take for years and the child is struggling in mainstream school and the fact that people call them names and shout and like, you know, what did I do? Teenagers are already raising teenagers. I'm a mom. I've got 2 teenagers. My son is 19 and my daughter is about 16. And I know it can be tough raising a teenager, right? And I'm curious, raising a teenager who is also on neurodivergent, what's that like for you?
I mean, it's very interesting for me, because I see a super smart person, you know, super jolly, sometimes very reserved, you know. especially when you have to talk about things that are personal with him. So he kind of closes off. But I think it's also maybe based on the history we have as a family, because he grew up with me and my mom and my dad in the same house. So he had basically 3 parents. So it's usually the other one is shouting, the other one is more strict, the other one. So I think it's that kind of thing that kind of formed him to be a bit more secluded and maybe less talkative as he grows. But now he's becoming more jovial and be able to talk for himself. He stands up for himself. And what I love about the uniqueness of him is that he knows how he feels. He doesn't shy away from telling people exactly where he stands. And he's able to articulate himself and say, you know, I don't feel like this. I don't like this. I'm not able to do this. And a lot of people sometimes have seen him a bit obtrusive, maybe, or maybe just overtly just talking out of, you know, whatever. I know, not necessarily observing respect. But I don't see it as that. For me, I see it as somebody who's confident, who knows what he wants, and that's the kind of child I would like to raise. A child who knows where he stands in this world and who he wants to be.
Yeah.
You know, not directed by, oh, these are the norms of how you communicate, or as long as then obviously the lines of respect. Obviously.
Yeah. And I'm smiling, Dineo, because just last night, I mean, the viewers will get to you'll get to listen to our next guest who will be coming. As I've mentioned, she's in the space science or astronomy. It's kind of what she studied, and she'll obviously unpack it. But one of the things we talked about over dinner was how much we appreciate people that are on the spectrum, because they just tell it like it is. You go and like, okay, Dineo, how are you? No, I'm very upset. No, I was just saying good morning. You know, I don't want the details, right? The neurotypical way of doing things is like, good morning. I say, good morning. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. And you move, right? They're like, no, I'm not fine. And it can be quite it's not traditional in the neurotypical world. So, and some people could view that maybe as rude. If they may come and tell me, oh, your hair looks messy.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not that they're being rude to me. You know, they say it as they see it.
Yeah.
And so the conversation was, we need more authenticity.
Yes.
It makes life better because of people who say it like it is.
I agree.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So just to recap, as far as raising a teenager who's also on the spectrum, you say he used to be a little bit more reserved as he was growing, and as he's becoming a young adult, he's becoming he has become more confident and more outspoken, and he says it how he feels. Is it because you've gotten him a lot of help along the way, or is he on medication, Ritalin, or what is it that got him from that point to where he is now?
So immediately after diagnosis, they recommended we put him on Concerta, which we did, and they had given him, I think, a dose of 18 milligrams at the time. But now he's actually on 36 milligrams because I think it wasn't working to the maximum, ability for him to focus for enough time at school. So I think also the help that we've received is that we were very curious what's going on. What is ADHD? Me and my mom went and did research. And funny enough, quite recently, last year in December, I told my family I would like to take my child to 𝐼𝑡'𝑠. So 𝐼𝑡'𝑠 is a not psychiatric, but basically a wellness people, everybody,
center.
different type of, diagnosis. People are there. But I didn't take him because I thought he's a problem. I took him and I was like, I think you need to learn more about yourself, understand yourself, because we can explain it as much as we can. But when you're around the people you are maybe relatable with you, teens that understand where you are. And with us, we think we're shouting at you because you're a teenager, but you think we're shouting at you because you have something is wrong with me, And it made me feel like the more I let experts into my life, the more I did research about it, the more it was easy for me to explain even to my family members that this child is not a problem or naughty child, or it's just that you guys have not given him enough time, or you don't even take time to understand what he's trying to communicate with you guys. And you guys just snap because you're adults. A child should behave, a child should listen, a child must, you know? And it was very difficult, obviously, to get full. I'm not saying I have all the knowledge and understanding, but even for me, when I took him, it was for me to meet with a psychologist, understand how do I help? How do I support my child better? How do I make him feel like he's part of this family, not just a person who's just a child and must be a child all the time? I think that made a lot of difference. So they also gave him sleeping medication. So he was on Respiracor to sleep, and he did Sericadin as well. So now he's just taking Sericadin. No, he's taking Sericadin and the we've changed from what's the other one? Concerta to Newcon.
Yeah,
So
Concerta.
now it's I don't know if it's generic which one, but they say Newcon and Concerta are basically the same. And that treatment, I've also learned that it doesn't last in the body. I just thought, okay, once it's there, he's gonna be fine. He'll be. But I realized he's hungry. Is another thing. Like he gets so hungry when he comes back from school. And I learned that recently, that it's the medication. So people never understand that sometimes medication makes them do things like he would go to the kitchen at 12 midnight, open the fridge, take apples, leave them in the bed. We would get frustrated, like, don't you eat enough? Do you want more food? Tell us. Don't go and take and hide food, you know? But I learned that with him, he kind of felt kind of almost ashamed or like feeling like, oh no, if I ask for more food or something,
nobody else wakes up at night and do this. I'm the only one.
So he would hide it. It was almost like a shame thing for him, and we had to just tell him, no, there's nothing wrong with eating. Just be comfortable with eating. Just don't do it as if it's a crime, you know.
This is interesting, Dineo, what you're talking about, because I mean, I'm going a little bit off topic now, but when you talk about the side effects of medication, and some parents have talked a little bit about how some of this medication affect their children, but I suppose that's a topic for the next segment. But it's interesting to see that for your son, he got hungrier, right? And I'm curious, what else?
So he got hungrier. Obviously, sleep deprivation, insomnia, he struggles with a lot. And then I think even just focusing on certain things, like he will zoom in and get addictive personality into things, especially like gaming. There's this Minecraft thing that he plays all the time, and he will watch gaming things. But like when you speak to him, you can't hear what you're saying because his mind is so zoned into that, what he's doing at the moment. And as a parent, obviously, you think, oh, my child's not listening. But we had to learn that it's not because he doesn't want to listen or he's just a teenager being naughty. We had to learn that sometimes his mind literally takes in and zooms in.
Yeah, and that's a quality. That's a quality. And, you know, as you're listening, I'm kind of linking our experience at Kids Innovate Africa of working with the neurodivergent students, but also the environment around what we hear parents say. And so the ability to be hyper-focused is one of the qualities of neurodivergent students. Imagine if I was neurodivergent myself and I'm able to just super focus on something, I'll be really far in life.
I had that hyper-focus.
You'll be really far, right? It's something admirable about them. It's something that is in many industries, especially in STEM, science, technology, and engineering fields, that ability to focus can be a real asset. Obviously, sometimes if the person is super focused and you're trying to distract them, it may not end up very well for you as a mom. So the idea, you want them focused on things that are adding value to their life and that are enhancing you know, their life experience as they become young adult. This is a really nice parents at home. As you're listening to Dineo's experience about raising a child on the spectrum, you know, how the diagnosis happened, but also looking at, you know, what interventions, what help she got along the way to get her son to be this young, confident and a person that he is. So we are now going to transition, because as you heard earlier, we talked about, you know, Dineo being a career woman, a woman on the move who's raising this amazing child. And I'm curious, what does a typical day in Dineo's life look like?
Well, at the moment, I'm at school full time. I made sure that I go back full time because law is not something I can study while working. But I did want to go back and work before that. But typical days, I wake up and just get ready for whatever I need to get ready for and go to school. Reseho's already up at 4. So he's very independent these days. He just wakes himself up if he can, or I wake him up, and then he gets ready for school. He gets fetched by school transport, so I don't have to really worry until he gets back at 1. But we have a helper at home, so she really helps us and assists us with him a lot. And then I go to class. If I'm not at class, I actually did a thrifting. I've started thrifting, so I sell thrifted jackets now.
Oh,
So it's one
wow.
of the things I do.
Business on the side.
Yeah, business on the side sometimes. But yeah, right now I'm actually wanting to pursue more business, like work as a remote person, so that I can continue to focus
in the law,
fully
in the legal field.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. As you were talking earlier, I was actually curious about the diagnosis journey of your son and how that was like. For many parents that we talk to, usually they would say, I've gone through a grieving process. I had to find a therapist to help me deal with the grief that I was feeling about this child that I had dreams for. I dreamed that they will live a certain way, and now I have to adjust the way I engage and the way I look at my child so that I can fully support them and meet them where they are. Have you gone through a process similar to that, or not quite?
I mean, I'll start here. I think we all have ADHD in some way. I think people don't see it obviously it doesn't present itself the same way.
Yeah.
But I think we all somewhere either have ADD or ADHD. So I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So when I had Reseho, I was in a very bad situation with his father, and we ended up separating. So I think I was very depressed at the time when I had him. And I was also 23. So it was very early for me. I felt like, yes, I'm ready. But then it was like, wow, this is an actual living thing for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
But it didn't, when life doesn't work out the way you want, you end up feeling, like, no, but it should have been fine.
Absolutely.
So I think those were part of the things that maybe aided in maybe his diagnosis becoming that thing, because I also learned that a lot of people who have either not depression, what's that, like rejection, and you have been maybe not been able to reach maybe like your family and your people that you need together. So those kind of people end up having ADHD because it's that type of, I need to connect with somebody, and I need to now start fending for myself. And it becomes, especially at an early age, it just sinks in, So I think it was partly contributed to by me. I think, I don't know.
I'm listening to you and I'm like, this is very interesting, because I'm curious also whether you think or you believe that ADHD is genetic in nature, and therefore your son may have likely gotten it from your genes or from dad's genes.
I'm not even sure if it could possibly be. I mean, remember with us, we didn't really get diagnosed early. Especially most people would say, oh, with the black cultures, it's like, no, those are white people's things. You don't get sick like that. We don't have those things. And I was like, no, but I want to know what my child, how do I help him, instead of just having this thing of white people conditions. They didn't take it seriously. And if you say my child is ADHD, they'll be like, no, there's no such thing. He's just naughty or whatever, And it was never really nice to go through. But it did cause a lot of depression, and I think also separation from the time that he was 4, because I left and I stayed with my partner at the time, and he was staying with my parents. So I think also that, where's my mom? Where's my dad? Why are both of them not here? Kind of builds up the anxiety in the child as well. So I think that's also a contributing factor to ADHD, not necessarily just genetic.
So you're saying environmental factors
as I think environmental factors do contribute.
Very, very interesting. That's a very interesting perspective, because largely we have understood it to be genetic. But I was asking, which is a question we're going to ask also to this genius young woman, as to whether she believes the environment, the way the environment is going now, there's a lot of changes, with climate action, and whether and the food that we eat now, whether all of those have an impact into our genetics transforming and now acquiring or having this neurodivergence. Yeah. So thanks for sharing your opinion as far as that's concerned. I was just curious. So as you had Dineo stay, she's fully in full-time education, pursuing her law degree, because most of you who have undergone the journey of acquiring a law degree, it's not a child's job, right? It's not a child's play, rather. You can't do that and work at the same time. No. But you're saying you still have capacity to take more. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to now to move on to look at what is it that happens. That I mean, you are not in employment now, but I'm curious when you were, whether there has been a time when you wish that colleagues or extended family members would understand about your life behind the scene, raising this amazing young boy.
So I do, because I think most of the time I get misunderstood by especially family members, because they don't see me and my son have conversations. They want to see that, but me and my son are actually very close. It's funny. And a lot of people will be like, no, but Russell in his room. I'm like, but that's how he is. I've had to learn his character and how he is, and not just say that, oh no, he's just not a people's person or whatever. But he has moments. He even comes out himself and says, I'm gonna be in people's faces today, but tomorrow he's just like, I'm not gonna be anywhere near you guys. And for people, it looks kind of awkward, because they like, but you guys never talk. And I'm also the same person. I'm a shy person. Go to my room, chill. Are you fine? Are you fine? Are you gonna come see me? Then he comes, sees me, we chat. It's done. We're fine with our conversation, you know. But also, I think my major thing was with my family, you know, especially the older ones. It was just too hard for them to accept Resa. And I still feel some of them still have a sense of rejection towards the condition he has, because it's just, for them, it's like, he hasn't taken pills. Go make sure he takes pills. And I'm like, but why can't he just be? You know, sometimes let him be. He's going to take his pill if he knows he has it or he doesn't have it. But if he visits other people, I get very concerned, because it's never like as comfortable as I would like to feel in my heart about how they feel about it. You know, so I think that's my major challenge. With colleagues, I've never really had to deal with colleagues that have ever really wondered or said anything about ADHD.
And you never had to ask for time off to take him to specialists and things?
No, usually I schedule it in the sense that either he'll be from school or it won't interfere with the business of the day. So usually I go when I have already preset my things together. So I haven't really had a serious thing happen that considered me taking myself out of where I was.
Well, would you then say families need to educate themselves? Because you're not the first parent to say this. We have had parents in our robotics classes who would say, you know, my child is on medication, which they get in the morning. It takes them through schooling system. And by the time they get out, let's say 1,500, 1,400, the medication has run its course. And so they would usually say, do you mind if we don't give our child another dose? You know, we would obviously be receiving the child for our animation or game development or robotics. And there've been times when we said, no, it's fine, let's try and see. And we know on the days that those learners in particular didn't take medication, some of them were very hyper, but we knew what we needed to do. We need to take them outside for a walk. They do the work, they build or design a robot, they build. When we see that they've reached their threshold, we'll kind of like, we will get them out and walk them out, and they will run sometimes, run the energy off. So there were things that we try to do. Sometimes they may be shouting because they feel frustrated. Something small will make them really frustrated. So we try and take them out. So I'm saying this to say, do you think it's important that families get educated about the condition of the neurotype of the child?
Yeah, I think that's very important, because I think what we try and do as mothers, because we're naturally shoulders and protectors, we want to protect the child. But the thing is that child goes out into the world and sees other people and has to live with other people and do things with those people. So it would be very nice if a family would be like, okay, my child has been diagnosed, this is what it is, but let's all go see like a professional, even if it's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and sit with that and understand that this is not a problem. It's not a something taboo,
something to be fixed
or something to be fixed. It's not like this child is actually a brilliant mind if you actually think about it. You have a genius right in front of you.
That's right. And I agree with you that when families get educated, when you have to see extended relatives, the families become advocate to say, look, our grandchild or our child has this neurotype, and this neurotype causes them to, sometimes they've got a lot of energy, and sometimes they may be overly energetic or agitated. And these are some of the things that we do to support them. We don't victimize or isolate or stigmatize them or their condition, or their neurotype rather, not a condition. So it's so powerful for you guys as families to be that center of support, because that's usually almost the only place where the child should feel at home.
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah, and where they should run away from all the judgment of the world. True. Yeah. So yeah, if you're a family member or a relative, or you have somebody who is neurodivergent, and you're listening to Dineo as far as some of the challenges she's faced with family, be that support, that sympathetic and empathetic family member, because it makes a big difference.
It does, because it makes the child feel accepted and it feels like I am the same. I'm another child in the house. You don't feel like there's something else weird or different about you.
The other thing, Dineo, one of the things that I've heard from one of the experts, the autism expert, said, Emma, parents are not supposed to not give medication other days and give the other days. They're supposed to follow the medical script directly from the specialist. They shouldn't stop and pause. And have you had something similar to that? This was just one specialist that I heard from.
Well, obviously after diagnosis, they did say he's supposed to take it every day, because it helps him. Like I've also seen, if he goes to school and he hasn't taken his medication, he's kind of distracted, he's even his mood slumps and stuff. But I think I'm okay with him not taking it every day. And to be honest with you, I've always said, I think my child will outgrow this one day. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having it, but I'm just like, I don't think it's something that I need to conscientize him into saying, this is you, this is who you're going to live as, this is what the world must accept you as. So I just want him to be himself. I mean, if he feels like right now he's not okay, he's not okay. If he's okay today, he's okay. If he takes medication, he takes it. If he doesn't, yes, I'll shout if he does something wrong, but that's it. That's where it ends for me.
Yeah. Okay. You're hearing, as a parent at home, raising a teenager, and you're potentially a young mom like Lerato. So I'm hoping you are taking her experience and getting some insights that can help you, if you may choose something that you would want to emulate, if at all. And we're going to move on now to look at the strengths and the wins or moments of joy in you and your child's life. And even the small wins are very important to celebrate. And I'm curious, what are some of the small wins that stand out for you when you think about your son?
I mean, my perfect thing is every single time he'll see me, he'll always say, Mom, you're the best mom in the world. I'm like, but you don't have another mom,
So better say that.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
But what I love about him is that he is such a loving, he's such a kind boy. He is very sweet. He's very sharing as well. Like, for example, last week my mom gave him her bank card. She's been swiping the whole week for lunch, and he's like, no, he spent about 100 rand. I'm like, but maybe he buys for his friends, So I think that's the kind of child he is. But I another win that I celebrated, like even just last week, he's a top achiever again in school. So he's like always impressing me, It's not like somebody that I think I fall short with, especially when it comes to his education and studies. And I think they've given him a really good support at home, especially with schooling, because my mom is also helping me with that. And the schools we've chosen have really supported him. I like 𝐉𝐨𝐬 as well because it's very good. That's where he's attending now. It's a special needs school. So it's got like a lot of children that can relate and identify with him. So he's actually feeling a lot at home there. So I love that for him. And I love the fact that, being a teenager is tough.
Yeah.
But right now, I love his confidence. I'm just like, I wish I was like you.
Sure.
I wish I could speak up for myself. I wish I could stand up for myself, because I used to be a very shy girl. I don't know when it changed. But yeah, so I'm really proud of him. I'm just proud of the fact that he's taught me how to mother him. He's taught me how to be patient with him. He's taught me how he's okay, even when he's not okay, he can talk to me. So I'm very proud of the person he is.
Yeah, so from what I'm taking away, Dineo, here, there's quite a few things you've said, a lot of insight. Firstly, Mummy, thank you for being a very good support system for Dineo. It's grandparents like you that make life really, life of a neurodivergent parent very bearable because of the support system. So thank you for the work that you do. So for others at home, it's important to provide support. And I think I'm saying this for the second time, but I want to reiterate that if you can, please provide support. Yeah, so what I'm picking up from what you've said, now, is obviously the support of family, and thanks to Grandma for the work that she does, as we have expressed earlier. But also the good qualities of your son. He's a kind and generous person. You've seen by how he buys food potentially for his friends, how loving he is, his ways of expression of love, right? So it makes life worthwhile. So we need to look at those things. And not only that, is quite a high performer academically. So those are the things that we need to look at. And what I admire about you, Dineo, is the fact that you tell him that I wish I had the same confidence as you, right?
I do.
And can you imagine what that does to him? Like, oh, my mom wish she was like me. So there's nothing wrong with me after all, right? So that's important. Echoing those sentiments of positivity and strength, and letting our children know the qualities we appreciate about them. Literally, it's things that they will remember about their childhood. And as you said, it's actually the experience of most parents who can openly say, my kids are teaching me how to parent them, right? Which is a beautiful thing. It shows that you don't only learn from adults. Yeah.
And also, there's no manual on how you're going to raise a child, but at least if the child knows what he likes and what he prefers, he's teaching you something about himself. And that's uniquely your parenting between you and your child. So I think that's beautiful.
This is amazing. And I almost imagine him being a very strong self-advocate.
Yeah, very strong.
Which is important. And especially in the neurodivergent community, we need young people to speak for themselves. So you've done well as a parent to be able to guide him towards that direction. And we are going to move on to the last segment. And here, Dineo, I would like you to engage with other moms, whether they're in full-time pursuing education, or they're in full-time employment, as it were. So some of them, obviously, they are raising children on the spectrum and they feel very overwhelmed. And I'm curious what message you would say, and what words would you say to them, whether they know their child is on the spectrum or has ADHD or autism, or they suspect that their child might be on the spectrum. What would you say to that mom or that dad?
Okay. I would say that be patient with yourself. Take time, breathe. It's also important to know how you're feeling. So see someone if you need to. Go to a psychologist. Get yourself understanding of some sort. Learn more. Research. Not Google doesn't give all the answers, but there's places and spaces you can go to and to get more understanding, because it's not the end of the world, honestly, and it's gonna be okay. your child is gonna thrive, and you're gonna wonder, why was I so worried? Why was I so stressed? And if you're on the discovery place now, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, it's such a knock to your heart, trust me, it's gonna be a beautiful journey going forward. Don't put yourself too much in your head, because there's always a place you can go. There's free spaces, there's places you pay for, there's, so many things. And I think the most important thing is that you find your child within that space. Make sure you get to him, understand him, and work on how he feels. It's not always about how we feeling and overwhelmed we are and whatever. And when you actually sometimes just sit there and talk to your child, you might find he'll take you out of that slump of a mood, or that he might make you laugh. You might be actually shocked that, okay, I'm not feeling so sad anymore. But find your child in that space, try and understand him. And if you don't understand him, just try and be more patient, because sometimes we try and get things as parents to align towards what we want. Like, let's do it right. Let's get it this way. Let's do it this type of way, And I've learned that my child is teaching me that it doesn't always have to be like so rigid. I can literally do it the other way, which is easier and quicker, or smarter sometimes, But if you get a neurodivergent child, allow them to be themselves, and don't stifle them. Don't protect them too much also. But also, I would say, don't protect them too much, but give them space to be themselves so that they can learn and understand themselves better.
Interesting, Dineo, that you say don't protect them too much. I had that. I think when we had Malcolm, and he talked about one of the girls, which we're hoping we'll talk to next week, who did homeschooling, neurodivergent, did homeschooling, and the feeling is she's being in a very overprotected environment for such a long time, and now she has to face the world, either go to university or get a job, and it's a whole new world for them now. So hearing you mention that again, don't overprotect them. In your experience, talking to the parents, what do you think are the dangers of overprotection? I mean, parents might think, oh, I need to protect my child. There's so many stigma, so much stigma, evil people. There's a lot of name calling out there. What are the dangers, in your view, of us as parents being overprotective?
I think the dangers also put your child in a bubble. They exist in a sort of bubble where they don't really see reality as it is, and people that are mean will always exist. They're not going to go away because your child's in a bubble. They're not going to go away, and he has to get a job one day. How's he going to get a job when he's afraid to speak to people? You need to get him to build up the confidence to say the world is the world, but it doesn't have to change me. You know what traits and characters and maybe wisdom you want to input in your child, which is good, but let them learn that I also need to be by myself one day. Not necessarily that my parents are going to leave me and die, but maybe my parents won't be around. Then who do I have to talk to? I can't always run to my mom, but at least I can go to my aunt. Maybe I can go to this person, or maybe I can talk to a teacher. And it makes them, especially when they're young, they're even scared to talk to teachers. That's why they'll always come and run to mommy. It'd be like, oh no, everybody's scary. Mommy's the safest place. And I feel like that's also a big problem, because then nobody knows you need help. He can't ask for help. He can't ask for assistance if he needs it. He always just views the world as the scary place for him to be. And I don't think that's going to be good for him in the long run. Or her.
Yeah.
Or her.
Oh, I mean, what you're saying, Dineo, is beneficial whether your child is on the spectrum or not.
Or not.
Yeah. It's important to not overshelter our children.
And also, they face bullies and also things that happen at school where they're not going to come back and tell you every day.
Yeah.
Like, I have one situation where my son was being bullied, right? And he was not telling us until one day I'm like, what happened? Because your teacher called me and told me at lunchtime, you sit alone and eat alone. What's wrong? Where are your friends? He's like, no, I don't. They don't like me. They're always fighting with me, And I was like, shame. That's sad. But I think you must also learn that sometimes when people don't like you, it doesn't mean it's a you thing. It means that same thing is wrong with them. So let them be and look with the ones that like you. Stay with the ones that are good with you. support those who support you, love those who love you. I'm not saying hate the ones that hate you,
Yeah.
but be aware that it's not always going to be everybody who will be accommodative and accepting of you as a person, regardless of whether you're neurodivergent or not.
Whether you're young or
whether
not.
you're young or not.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
exactly. Sure. There's so much to learn here, parents and non-parents. Whoever it is that tuned in today, there's a lot we can learn from the experiences of other parents. And we don't always learn from the experts. We can learn from people that have actually walked the talk. They've walked the journey, and some are still walking the journey and still learning. So yeah, I like what you said. There'll always be bullies. So maybe in closing, I'm curious, what is it that Resejo would like to be one day? Has he shared with you?
Oh my
I know
God.
he's still young, and usually for teenagers it changes all the time.
Well, it was funny in the beginning. He wanted to be a drummer. Then, because my dad was a doctor, he was gonna be a doctor. But now he says he wants to be a game developer.
Ooh.
So he's gonna do game developing, or he said, I'm gonna be a YouTube gamer or YouTuber, gaming YouTuber, or something like that. That's what he said he's gonna do. But I really feel like he's always had this inquisitive mind. I mean, I got him a puzzle. I think it was an 8-piece puzzle. I think it was one. He completed it the first day he got it.
What?
I was shocked.
At the age of 1?
Age of 1, like a 6-piece or whatever. He completed it. And he's like, Mommy, I even have a photo of it. I don't have it now. But I was
That's amazing.
So I was like, oh, so I've always thought maybe he'll be an architect. I always think he's either going to be in a building space or somewhere. But I know he loves maths. Like, he thrives with maths and science.
See?
So I really think he's going to do well.
Whichever
does.
field he chooses.
I am not that parent that says you must be. I think when you're happy and you're thriving and you're at your happiest, you do the best you can. So I think I would never try and divert whatever.
Yeah. Let's watch out, because I heard he likes playing games. Likely he figured I would rather just make my own games, right?
Probably. And he's already selling stuff in school as well. He's a businessman.
What?
He sells cool drinks to his friends.
Then he must have good marketing and sales skills.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because he says, no, they send me to the shop to go buy them. I'm like, but why are you sending the shop? Don't you guys have a tuck shop? He's like, no, they want this one.
Oh, this is amazing.
So
you see,
beautiful.
He's exploring entrepreneurship. Likely that he might be somebody in the STEM fields with entrepreneurship pursuits. Because, he's now, he loves maths and science and is doing so well, but he's also doing business on the side.
Yes.
So this is really something to admire. What are the last words you want to say to the parents as we wrap it up?
Well, I'm grateful to be on this platform. I'm grateful for the knowledge that I've also gained. And I think if there's a space where we can share and support each other, I'm always willing to meet with people who are like-minded, working together, growing together. And I think it's a beautiful thing to support your child. Continue, whether you're okay or not, you will be fine. It'll get okay. It'll get fine again. Things will work out. Yeah, God has us.
By the way, do you have a platform where you share on social media some of the techniques that you use to support Resejo? Can people contact you to ask you questions about the journey or have about ADHD? Or they should just contact you through our WhatsApp community, and you can share your journey there.
Currently, no, I haven't even started sharing anything about I just share with people that are like, in front of face to face with me. But I usually, at first I used to share the struggles of it, but now I'm like sharing the joy of it more. I don't know, it's just switched up for me. So no, but I do have WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram. You can also use this platform, I guess, to ask me questions. I don't have a problem.
That's amazing. So as you had, you'd be able to reach out to Dineo if you had any questions. She's very happy to share the journey. And as you had, she's transitioned from sharing about some of the challenges and now sharing about the joys, because she's gone through the journey. And I'm hoping if you are still in the early stages of discovery, that you two would get to on the other side, where you can get to talk about the joys that I can see your heart lights up when you talk about your son.
I love him so much.
Yeah, beautiful. So we will share some, you would see this podcast, you're happy to ask questions, and she'll be able to attend to your questions in the comment section. But we'll also, when she allows us, we'll share her contact details on her social media pages so you can reach out. We also have a WhatsApp community where we have experts sharing information and knowledge. You're more than welcome to engage from there, and she would be also able to share some information with you there. For now, this does it for us at Beyond the Box. We are very grateful that you came and you shared your beautiful story, from when your child was young to going through the journey and growing with him. It's been such a powerful story to listen to. And I just love the energy with which you talk about the story. And I can tell you have passed the grieving process of having to worry. And it's such a beautiful thing. But for you as the parents at home, you can pass through the grieving process. It's not a permanent thing. As Dineo said, you're going to be okay. This does it for us at Beyond the Box. Please like, share, and follow, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.